Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And we will do that. And good morning to you. It is Coffee and Time here on ON, AM, and FM. It's Friday morning, December the 20th. Hi there. I'm Joe Callahan.
Hey, milk fund auction time.
Not just yet. That'll be next week.
All right, next week.
All right. And that's Dave Richards over there. Good morning to you, Dave. I also need you to pop open your laptop, please, because our first segment sponsor of the Coffee and program is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. So I want Dave to scroll through his vast emails that he gets all the time and find the one that tells you about what's going on with the chamber, Dave.
Not much, Joe.
No, because it's Christmas time, right?
Yeah, right. They kind of lay low until November.
Yeah.
And they'll be laying low.
Maybe January? Laying low till November? That's a long
Did I say that?
That's a long way to lay low.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry. No, that's not what I meant to say. What I meant to say, they're laying low till the new year.
Ah, okay. That makes more sense.
New year and November start with the same letter, or the same sound anyway.
All right.
And there you go. So let's see if I can look up in my. I have to start up my computer here. And where am I going? I'm trying to go too fast here.
Emails.
You know, when you're looking for something.
You can never find it. Especially in emails.
There it is, Chamber. I got two in the inbox, Joe.
All right.
Exit Issues Breakfast with House Speaker Joseph Sicarci.
When's
Coming
that?
up on the 8th of January, which is closer than we think. At 8:30 in the morning at the Kirkbrae Country Club. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to meet the Speaker of the Rhode Island House of Representatives. Some would say the most powerful man in our state. A guy who can get things done. And learn more about his legislative agenda for 2025, featuring a question and answer session. Well, I don't know if you realize this, that Speaker Sicarci is a graduate of Mount St. Charles Academy.
I didn't know that.
Class of 1980.
Wow, okay.
And, of course, Suffolk University, because he went on to his higher education, class of 84. And like that, now he got his law degree in 1990. He knows a few things about laws, and now he makes them.
Yeah.
What do you know? All right, so that's coming up, Exit Issues Breakfast on January the 8th. We have the list over here that continues in January on the 14th with Jumpstart 2025, Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce Membership Unlocked. That sounds interesting. That's going to be at the Chamber headquarters in Lincoln. And Business is Brewing on January 29th from 5 to 7 in the afternoon, just about the time you might want a little taste of Narragansett Brewery product.
Oh, it's not
because it's
coffee
going to be
brew,
at
it's
the Narragansett Brewery.
I see.
Down in Providence. Of course, the annual celebration is coming up in February. I'll tell you more about that later on. The Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, 334-1000, Joe.
Very good there, Dave. Thank you very much. We expect Melissa Murray to be joining us, and Rich Lane will also join us from Post 85 a little later on in the program. So other things that are going on, and this is it's a good story. Didn't start out that way, but it ended that way with this 73-year-old woman from Uxbridge, nearby Uxbridge, Maria Scorpio, who was, well, I guess the family said she's missing. And they said, okay, so the word goes out to be on the lookout for this woman.
Last saw her on Wednesday around 10:30 a.m.
Yeah.
The way I remember.
And she was found quite a ways down in Fall River.
Fall River.
It's a long way from Uxbridge.
In an SUV.
It's a long drive to get down there.
Nobody elaborated on the circumstances, but they said that I love the way they wrote this with our news service. She was found in a state of confusion. No, it was the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, for Pete's sake. Get this right, will you?
In a confused state. Where am I?
Well, some people might say that Massachusetts is a confused state.
So kudos to the Fall River Police. They're just running a check on license plates.
Yeah.
And said, hey, this is the one they're looking for.
Yeah.
And here she is. So let's pull her over and see where she's going. And they don't elaborate too much, because sometimes with these, we were just trying to get to maybe she's just trying to get to North Smithfield. And next thing you know, she's on 146, and now we're on 95, and now we're on 195, and now we're in Fall River. And then it's like, how did I get here? So, but it ended well.
Well, it could happen.
Yep. And
We both said that both of my parents died of complications from Alzheimer's, and when you see it up close and personal, like so many of our listeners have with their elder relatives, they don't mean anything by it, and you say this doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense to them because they're not paying attention the way they used to.
yeah.
You know, they're thinking about things, thinking through a thought, remembering something, maybe a trip to the Louvre Carousel, and then next thing you know, you're thinking about going out to Battleship Cove to watch the fireworks on the 4th of July, even though it isn't July.
Yeah.
But that stuff doesn't bother folks who are suffering from that kind of dementia. It doesn't bother them that it doesn't match up, that it isn't July the 4th and stuff like that. So I'm just concocting a scenario so that people could understand how the very nice lady could easily become confused and be somewhere that she's not supposed to be.
Yep. And now you're down in Fall River, quite a fair distance from
And I'm
Uxbridge, and
sure-
nothing looks familiar.
I'm sure that she was just as surprised that she was in Fall River
River.
as everybody else.
How did I get down here? Okay. But they contacted her family, got her back home, and everything is fine. So that's good
Good.
news there. All right. We had the story yesterday, Dave, and you have it. You ran it again today. We just any thoughts on
Just
what
the
you
dog?
think? No.
No?
The dog thing is just there's nothing new to report on the dead dog in Lincoln. And,
Yeah.
and Melissa,
Although,
did
yeah,
you
they
hear
got-
about the dead dog in Lincoln yesterday?
No.
Oh,
Have
you
been
want-
abused.
You want the gruesome details?
No, it's okay. All I
But-
need to know is the
Well,
dog is probably
They have
mistreated,
There's a
right?
car
So-
of interest. Yes, very mistreated
Malnourished, emaciated.
Oh, the one, yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
beaten up. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So the
And
Toyota
there's nothing new.
RAV4 is
Yes.
an SUV,
No,
right?
They said Chevy.
No, they said Toyota RAV4, a white one.
Okay.
And they, so there's a type of car
Yeah.
they're
you're
looking
right.
for.
Toyota RAV4.
because
Okay,
they have
good.
reason to look for that car with respect to the dog being found.
So
So
nothing new to report on ownership or how the dog died.
So
or anything
white
like that.
Toyota RAV4.
Yes.
Once again, for those folks out there.
But no plate on that.
Oh.
So nothing new there. No, the thing is about the DOJ, Department of Justice, claim a civil complaint against CVS, who says they've been
Oh, yeah.
handing out opioids left and right like crazy since 2013.
Yep.
Up until yesterday, basically. I'm like,
I was sick of it when I read this one.
yeah.
Yep. That's really terrible.
We know so many wonderful people who work for CVS. There's got to be some sort of an answer to this. And I'm sure that, one obviously will be forthcoming in court because that's where it's going.
Sure.
The statement from CVS says it's not so.
Strongly
The charge-
disagrees, yes,
Strongly
with the
disagree
allegations.
with it and the negative, false narrative that it is projecting. And I don't know, maybe it's a technicality in a law or something like that. You'd hate to believe, since so many of us know so many people at CVS, you'd hate to believe that the company was actually doing it the way that it sounds.
Willfully?
Yeah, the way that it sounds. Trying to get away with this and just to sell the drugs as many as they can to whomever they can.
Well, they're saying they were
That's the way
selling,
it sounds.
they were filling illegal prescriptions. So it sounds like people are walking up to the counter and saying, "I have this prescription. I'm not really showing you anything, but give me 30 OxyContins," and they just okay, and they go and they fill a bottle and they give it and they sell it to them. Which just sounds so
That kinda
bizarre
sounds
that,
like it.
that they would do something like this.
They don't hear that.
Yeah.
So
They don't hear that.
So I don't know. But it's been they've been investigating it for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, then
Since 2013,
Yeah.
they said this when it started.
it's not. So that means it's not just one
all during that
person. and
time-
it's a
It's gonna be nationwide.
But all
systemic,
during that
right?
time, these pharmacies have been sued by a litany of attorneys general for contributing to the opioid
Opioid
crisis.
crisis. Yeah.
Yep.
But they're
And
just
now
filling
the Department of
prescriptions.
Justice is coming back and said, "Oh yeah, not only did you get sued and you're paying millions, tens of millions of dollars to all these states, and some settlement deal, but we think you did it on purpose, and we're taking you to court to answer for these charges.
Now, we brought it up yesterday on Coffee, and is it the pharmacist's responsibility? Oh, this is because it's an opioid, let's say for the prescription,
Yep.
for them to contact the doctor back and say, is this really kosher? Is this really what you want to do? And if that's the case, sometimes it takes for a few
right.
hours to get your prescription. This is really going to slow things down.
Right,
And they have to start
right,
making
right.
phone calls.
Right. But they're also supposed to counsel the person saying like, this is addictive, and we need to tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. They have to tell you that.
Okay. I know when I get my prescriptions filled, I'm not getting any opioids, thank goodness.
Right.
But they always ask, do you have any questions?
They do.
Is that counseling right there?
I
I would
think
say no.
technically it does count because you have to sign
Yeah, but
that
when you-
I've
have been
told this.
told this.
Okay.
And I mean, if it's something that you've been on for years,
Yeah, you got to sign.
you already know, but you have to sign, so then it's on you.
If it's an opioid, if it's that kind of a controlled substance, believe me, the difference it's different than, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've
No,
seen that
it is
after a
different.
procedure, when they give you the good stuff for the a small bottle for a couple of days to get you over the hump.
Right.
It's like, do you realize that this stuff is very strong? Do you realize this could be addictive? Do you realize that
Don't drive.
do
this
not
and that,
change
right.
any other medications? Do only the medications that are being prescribed, and be sure, do you read this? Do you understand how many times a day you're taking it, and how many you're taking each time? Yeah, they grill you if it's the good stuff, as it were.
right.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, I don't have to take that stuff, so they just say, you got any questions?
Yeah,
Well,
you don't have
no,
to take
I'm
that
good,
stuff.
I'm good.
Yeah, I haven't had a surgery or an injury like that in a long time, so I haven't.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this thing will be in court for quite a while, I'm
sure it will.
And this go
Yeah.
on and on and on.
Yep.
And on and on. So
That's crazy.
we'll
How
see
do you
what
run a
happens there.
company with this?
With that over your head?
Yeah, and
Hand it
I'm,
off to the lawyers, Dave.
and I'm terribly,
Right.
And
And
just
make a public statement and
Fill me in
do the
on when
things that they're doing.
Things happen.
Yep.
I'm terribly disturbed, by the way, Joe, by
Yeah.
this entire thing that every state attorney general feels they
Gets
have
to
to go
sue.
out
Yeah.
and sue everybody, real and imagined, for whatever they might have done, might have been thinking, could do if we don't sue them, or stuff like that. And it's almost like they're campaigning for governor
Yeah.
by suing
I'm doing-
anybody
I'm
who's
doing
got
good.
deep pockets
Yeah.
and bringing in tens of millions of dollars. And it started back with the tobacco companies, which were perhaps culpable, but they said, hey, we need more money like this. So legislatures look at the attorneys general and say, hey, got any more nice lawsuits like that?
No, we don't.
Let's just go
No,
in
we
with a
don't.
few other states, because we all want to rob from the rich and give to the poor, don't we? No, seriously, I'm disturbed by this trend of the primary business of an attorney general is to go out and find
Sue.
corporate victims that they can sue. And
Yeah, they do that autonomously. They don't need our permission.
That's right.
To do that.
Right.
You know, so
Okay. Well, also in the lawsuit, it says that the CVS sought federal reimbursement for many of them in violation of the False Claims Act. So
wow.
there's a few charges going on here. So
Yeah.
a lot for
Well, yeah,
CVS to
I-
answer to.
Yeah.
federal reimbursement could simply be, okay, you're on Medicare,
Yeah.
and
Right.
here's your prescription.
Right.
And we're going to
And
get
we're gonna
reimbursed
reimburse-
by
Right,
Medicare,
Medicare,
for your
Medicaid.
prescription.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's what's going on there with CVS. So, all right, we got to move on right now. Time for a break, and we'll get a second message from Dave talking about the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Well, the second one is always short.
Yes.
334-1000 is the telephone number to call after 9 o'clock this morning and find out how the Northern Rhode Island Chamber can help you make more money in your side hustle, your business, or your, well, listen, might not be a bad idea if you were managing a business, even if you didn't own it, to be part of the chamber and get all the benefits that you can use in your career.
Thanks, Dave. All right, more Coffee and coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 401-766-1240.
This is Robert Stewart from Woonsocket Teachers Guild reminding you that holidays are a season of giving, your time, your money, and an opportunity to help others. We enjoyed the Christmas Day concert and think you will as well. May the holiday season bring you joy to you and your family. We hope that you will find a way to make the life of a child or a family member or a stranger more joyous this season. Woonsocket educators are proud of the work we do to make a difference in the lives of the youth of Woonsocket.
The Blackstone River Federal Credit Union is a full-service community credit union featuring many products and services, including mobile banking, courtesy pay, and overdraft protection, online banking, and bill pay, plus access to 30,000 no-fee ATMs. Refinance your dealer car loan. The Blackstone River Federal Credit Union, Monument Square, Woonsocket, and 100 Old River Road in Lincoln. Courteous, prompt, helpful service.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It's Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. And Dave remembers this former lieutenant governor that passed away. And I said, gee,
Tommy DeLulio,
I
yeah.
just don't remember him being in
Don't
office.
remember either.
He was lieutenant governor for Governor Garahy.
Yeah. Elected in 77, and he was a lieutenant governor until 84. Mm-hmm. And,
I was little. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention
sure.
to politics when I was 10.
Well, I was in high school then, and I remember Garahy as the governor. It was just the lieutenant governor just didn't pop up on the radar.
Well, we
I
don't
guess.
make that. The only time that we really started paying any attention to lieutenant governor here in Woonsocket was when Roger Beecham was, which, by the way, his son Douglas is having a birthday over the weekend.
Oh, good for him.
Yes.
All right. And how old was the 93? The former lieutenant governor passed away. So will they do something special down at the State House when something like this happens, Melissa? A little moment of silence or
Yeah,
something
maybe when
when session comes back?
Maybe we will. Yeah, maybe we will do a resolution, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty natural. That's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, we do
routine
that. We do
for
that.
for the body. Yeah, it is.
And so there'll be no laying in state or anything like that because according to our story,
I
he was a
don't
very
think
private.
so.
He was a very private person.
Yeah.
And there's no public funeral services are planned. So that's what's happening right there. All right. Other things happening, of course, as always, because we're coming up on the holiday season. The Rhode Island Department of Transportation urging the public to do the right thing, make the right decisions, and drive sober.
Yes.
Over Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and all like that. So, so the RIDOT joins reps from AAA, MAD, and the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association to encourage the safe driving and warn drivers about the real-world consequences of impaired driving. They'll be out looking for you
Oh yeah.
over the week, really, because
Yeah,
it's-
they're already
it
out.
falls on a Wednesday right now.
Yeah.
They're already out.
You're going, yeah, I know. I mean, you're going into a holiday. It's not really a holiday weekend, but it's you're the weekend before the holiday, and
Yep.
a lot of people have today off all the way through, Wednesday, and just
That's right. I didn't think about that. They'll take today off.
Sure.
And take all next week off.
possibly, yeah,
And then,
right. But
well, so a few days before New Year's, we'll come back on a week from Thursday, kind of thing. At least that's what they'll try.
yeah, just be sensible and safe.
Yep. You know what I've been seeing a lot lately, though, and I saw her driving home last night after the Milk Fund auction, and I've seen it a couple of times, and I don't know what's going on. It's out on 95, and I can't tell, but I'm seeing if cars are racing each other or they're just speeding in general. But they're weaving in, and it's always like two cars are weaving out. And I go, it seems like they're racing, and we're talking 5:30 at night, dark, crowded Route 95.
They're hungry.
Looking for food.
Yeah, trying to get home for
They're
dinner.
hangry.
They're hangry, I guess. And yesterday, after these two blew by me on 95, maybe 2 minutes later, state cop with his lights on, coming up behind me.
Good.
And I'm like, all right. And he was, maybe he's looking for these people. And it got me thinking. I said, if you're a police officer and you're in a high speed chase, during the daytime, you can keep your eye on the car. What do you do at night? What do they do at night in order
Right.
to keep following the car? Because it's all you see is taillights.
Hopefully they can get someone
Follow
up
the
ahead.
taillights, Joe.
Right.
But
But
there's
there's
answer your
so
own
many.
question.
There's
So
too many,
many.
Dave. Everything's just red.
Yeah.
And,
Hopefully you can call someone who can get ahead
know,
of
but
them
this-
and kind of, you know.
There-
I
there's
know you're looking for the right
configurations.
license
There's
plate.
configurations of license of tail lights where they're
Oh, I
certain
know.
distance apart. There's certain
The Chevy
shape.
looks like
and-
this. Ford looks like this.
Yeah,
Toyota
right.
looks like
you
this.
you get the idea.
I wouldn't know.
But
I wouldn't either.
But it's not without its hazard. But there's rules for everything, as I recall, unless they've changed it recently. There is a 20-second pursuit rule. If you are chasing a subject, you're a law enforcement officer. Obviously, the supposition is.
Yeah.
If you're a law enforcement officer and you are in pursuit, during the pursuit, if you lose sight of your target for more than 20 continuous seconds, you are to break off the pursuit, because the presumption is that you have lost them.
Okay. Well,
You may
that's-
resume the pursuit if they present themselves again. But if you lose after 20 seconds of not having them in sight, then you're to break off the pursuit because it's considered that you have lost the pursuit.
In this case, though, the state police was at least 2 minutes behind these racing cars.
Well,
So
that-
maybe he was going after
You know what that
somebody
means
else.
to me? What it means to me? Cell phone. Hello.
Yeah, somebody called.
911. I'm on 95 North.
Oh.
These guys just flew by me at a high rate of speed.
Yeah.
Is this kind of car and this kind of car? If you have a state police officer in the area,
Yeah.
radio goes out. Hey, I'm within a couple miles of that.
Hey, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Right? Yep.
I'm such a lousy
we
witness
catch 'em.
because I have no idea what kind of cars these were.
Yes.
They went by me.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
there
the
they
same
go.
way.
I'm like,
right. What
It's a
what make
car.
and model? Red. Yeah, I don't.
even-
I'm
it's
just like
nighttime.
that.
I don't even have a color.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's a car, not a truck. There.
Yeah,
That,
yeah,
that narrows
yeah.
it down.
Well, it
But,
does.
yeah, that's right. Okay, but I have noticed it a lot more. Have you noticed it? Just more speeding on
Yes,
on,
I
on
have.
highways,
I have.
not just around the city.
Since the pandemic, I noticed.
more speeding.
Yeah, you'll
speeding?
see. Yeah, you'll
Because
see
the
that one
speeding
car that's
started
just
when the
weaving
cars-
and like,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
When there were fewer cars on the road, you could hoof it.
Yes, you could.
yeah, yeah.
with
that's
few
true.
with few consequences.
Yeah.
And today's cars are so much better built to handle high speed cornering
Oh,
and
yeah.
braking and everything else like that than cars that I grew up with. But but seriously, afterwards, when the rest of the cars came out there and the traffic jams came back, it just added to the frustration of, hey, I used to be able to do this trip in 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And now it's 25 minutes. I'm not home yet. I'm not happy. I'm going.
yeah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can beat Waze.
That's, I play that game.
I play that game too.
Really?
well,
Oh, I
usually-
shaved a minute off my commute. Right.
Well,
yeah.
I'm long trips. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go visit
Yeah.
my son,
I
and
see.
it's a 4-hour drive.
Let me see if
okay,
I can
Waze
beat-
is gonna
yeah,
get,
yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
get there at 1:30. All right. There's
So
the goal.
it's an
You get there
Yeah, yeah.
before 1:30.
it's an
Right.
amusement
Right.
thing.
Right. Yeah.
It
yeah.
is an amusement thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But then Waze will move in case there's an accident or something.
Right. It'll
like that.
reconfigure in real time. Right.
Oh yeah,
It
well
does. It
I've
does.
been using it driving back from New Hampshire, and I'm looking at. Wait a minute. It said I was going to arrive at 1:20. Now it says 1:45.
Yeah. What happened?
What the heck happened up ahead of me?
Right.
right. Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that plays that game of Let's Beat Waze.
A lot of people do that.
Well,
A lot
I
of
don't.
people do
No, I
that.
don't try to beat it, but I've seen
yeah.
I've seen the estimated time of arrival change drastically
I've
while
seen
you're
that too.
driving, and there's nothing going on where you are.
That's because you're driving slower. It's based on your average rate of speed, so they can like kind of guesstimate based on the way you drive. And so, if you're driving slower than the speed limit, then it like makes your
It
trip
adjusts.
longer. Yeah.
Okay. Rich Elaine has joined us at the coffee and table.
The rooster's back.
Yes,
Good,
yes,
good morning
yes.
to
Good
you,
morning.
Rich. We'll be talking with Rich soon. I just wanted to bring this up. And,
You don't want to talk to him now?
well, hi, Rich. How are you? There, I talked to him.
I'm doing well, Joe. How are you this
I'm
morning?
fine, thanks. What do you think about this? You know, people that I got away with it once. I'll keep doing it because I haven't got caught at it. And a bank teller at TD
Oh,
Bank
yeah.
in Boston, he's accused of embezzling. Ready? $180,000 from customer accounts.
Wow.
The man's from Saugus. He allegedly stole the money from one victim's account, but that person finally noticed their $180,000 was missing. And he's accused of taking the money from a second account and moving it into the first in an effort to cover his tracks. Imagine seeing
I
all
think
these
when you're in
withdrawals
that
and
when you're
deposits that
when
you
you're
haven't done.
yeah in that deep yeah
So he's charged with
You're
embezzlement
screwed.
by a bank employee, which carries a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison.
Yep.
You ever
Yep,
deal with
yep.
bank people like this when you were a prison guard there, Rich?
I've dealt with people that said they were bank robbers.
What
I'll
were
tell
they?
that story off
Off
the
air?
air.
Oh, okay. I was only robbing banks. I'm a good guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Not something you hear somebody say every day.
I was only robbing a
I'm a
bank.
bank robber, you know.
But,
Well, the assumption is that you held up a bank with a gun, and not that you
Oh, yeah.
like embezzled from
I'll just
little
move.
old lady or something, like over the span of whatever.
So,
right?
so what is this bank teller supposedly in for a penalty here?
He can get up to 30 years if he's
Yeah.
convicted. But he was just arrested, so his time in court is
Yeah.
going to be down the road quite
Yeah.
a ways. But that's the maximum sentence. He could get 30 years. Doesn't say if he's got any kind of other
Wouldn't buy a new car at
penalty or
this
anything
point,
like that.
though.
No, and you're probably going to give back the money and like that. And, but that's funny that
If it's still around.
I'm getting I got caught. Let me start moving money from other accounts around, and
I
that's
think they can't figure that out.
well, you would think they would. This is a major paper trail.
Yeah.
You just follow the steps that they're doing. So, all right. So
I got a
that's
cool
over
bank
there.
teller story if you want to hear it.
A bank? Okay.
A bank teller. Yeah, well, my wife used to work in a bank.
Okay.
She was teller in Milford, Mass. And she said that these older Italian women or Portuguese women would come in literally with coffee cans
Oh, dollar
that were
bills.
buried in the backyard, chock full of money.
Yeah.
That
And she said
was
the
not uncommon.
The smell, she said, when they popped those cans open,
Oh, yeah.
she said
Really?
that, and my wife was so, well, my wife's Italian, so she's so, like, she just knew how to relate to the people. And all the tellers would, like, jockey around to make sure that, like,
They didn't
this,
get it?
that, yeah, like, in other words, when this woman was next, that teller would have to go to the bathroom or whatever, you know.
look
It'd be like, yeah,
time.
well, let's line her up with Cindy, you know. But, yeah, but I mean, she said when they'd open up those cans, like, the smell was, like, crazy.
Is
you
it
know,
because
that-
is it the coffee smell? They didn't rinse out the cans.
no, I
Is it
imagine the
money?
money and the
Money?
ground and
Yeah.
everything. I don't know, but
I didn't realize
yeah,
there'd be a
yeah,
smell involved with this.
Yeah, but yeah, like Dave said though, that was real common there. Way
Yeah,
back, huh?
yeah,
They
yeah.
dig it up out of the backyard, and
Yeah.
my wife said sometimes it'd be like. She said she had one deposit was like $60,000
In one can?
in one can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just that.
Wow.
It was not that uncommon to bury your money in years ago.
But how do you remember where it is?
I remember. Hey,
Better remember.
I remember when I was 4 or 5 playing out in back of some buildings
Yeah.
and stuff that were on the street, and because you always go to where little hidden places when you're a kid exploring
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Haven't seen
We
this
came
before.
across a buried coffee can,
Of
and
money?
inside there was all kinds of coins from Germany and medals and old coins from the United States and stuff like that, and just stuff that somebody didn't want to put in a bank, didn't believe in a bank or whatever. It started basically in the 30s when a lot of banks failed and people didn't trust banks
Right.
so much.
What did you do with that can? Show it to you.
Give it to my dad. I don't know what he did with it.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
Here,
I
I
thought it was
found
kind of
this.
cool,
Yeah.
and I was playing around with the stuff, and
It's buried treasure.
oh, yeah,
But
right.
it's really somebody's buried
And
safe deposit box.
I remember Dad saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" I says, "I found this cool stuff. Where'd you find it? It's buried over here." Oh, I don't know. He took it away from me, but
Dad got a new car. Dave got a new bike.
oh no, no, nothing like that. But as I recall, it was like little simple things that didn't have an awful lot of value to the average person, but it was something that was special to somebody
Yeah.
else. Like I said, I mean, German coins,
Yeah.
war medals, and I do remember there was a couple of silver pennies in there. Because at one time they made them out of nickel instead of copper
Yep.
because they needed the copper for the war effort.
Yeah.
So I remember that stuff.
Rich, did they bring in more than one can at a time? Did your wife ever say it was always just one at a time?
No, she just like told a story about a woman coming in with the can. She said, and it happens every once in a while.
Yeah.
You
I wonder if it still happens.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know any bank tellers anymore.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, and more coming up. We'll talk to Rich about Post 85 coming up in just a bit. And it's time for the forecast, being brought to you by Indeed.com.
A 60% chance of snow showers today, cloudy with a high near 35 degrees. Total daytime snow accumulation of less than an inch. Tonight, another inch is possible of snow, as it will snow throughout the night. 50-50 chance of it going on and off all through the night with snow showers. Mostly cloudy skies, a low of 22 degrees with a breeze from the north. Saturday's weather, partly sunny with a high of 31 and a breeze from the north up to 30 miles per hour. Sunday, sunshine and 22. Monday, sunshine and 27. Tuesday, Christmas Eve day, a 40% chance of snow, mostly cloudy, with a high of 35. Too early to talk about accumulations yet. Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 24. Christmas Day, mostly sunny with a high near 36 and a breeze from the north. And Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 38.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we do have mostly cloudy skies and 32 degrees.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Wow! Can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
Hi, this is Pat Holland. Join me and Kevin Callahan live from the cheap seats for all the latest scores and behind-the-scenes stories. We'll bring you the game from a fan's point of view. Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. here on ON, AM, and FM radio.
This portion of Coffee and is being sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper, which Dave happens to have in his hands right now.
I do.
You do? All right.
Would you like me to tell you about it?
Please, Dave.
Okay. Well, Santa's certainly getting a little FaceTime.
All right.
In the Valley Breeze newspapers, I have the Cumberland edition over here. Here we see the jolly old elf, along with Kennedy Martins, who's 6 years old of Pawtucket, sharing a Christmas wish when he made a visit to Santa's workshop at the Family Literacy Center in Lincoln. Boy, my goodness, the youngster Kennedy certainly seems very interested in what Santa has to say there. Nice pictures, too. And that's Charlie Lawrence, our friend at the Breeze, always taking some nice pictures. In the news department, Ethan Shorey has a story on Cumberland, finalizing $10.5 million in ARPA spending. We've heard all about that here in Woonsocket. Cumberland's Sidewalks Initiative is lifting off. Ethan's got a story on that. Sophia Barr writes about Great Road Crosswalk being a Christmas miracle. You want to know more about that? Then you want to pick up the Cumberland Lincoln edition of the Valley Breeze newspapers. I have now in my hand the North Smithfield, Woonsocket, and Blackstone edition. Santa's getting a little FaceTime on that one too, as he made a visit over to North Smithfield Town Hall and listening to Stone Bufferys, who's 4 years old, and you know, I think it's Christmas list stuff going on because, you know, that's what's done this time of year. The town council in North Smithfield is debating the overhaul to planning and zone term limits Yes, they got forced retirement in North Smithfield. Thought it was a good idea at one time. 2 5-year terms, and you can't be on a board anymore, like the zoning board or the planning board or something like that. And there's a move afoot. Councilor Rebecca DeCristofaro, as a matter of fact, expressed support for the change and removing those term limits, saying that, by golly, why would be throwing away all this experience after only 10 years? Well, there you go. Woonsocket officials are praising the cleanup of the Hospital Trust building, which they compelled, so they're pretty happy that it happened. And Corey Plant has a story from North Smithfield about a village gas station owner pursuing a new Route 146 gas station. You know the Sunoco station over there where the
Right
fly
on-
bridge is?
Right at the lights.
Well, they're not in what you call a really viable place anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. I have some other little snide comments I could make because I used to go to that place, but no more. We're going to be taking the fly bridge over. So they say, let's go
So they
down
wanna
the
move.
road on 146 south of the Rustic, and build a gas station with buried tanks closer to Woonsocket's municipal water supply. There could be some controversy on this. You don't know.
I can't figure out where they want to go.
There's a whole bunch of North Smith. Oh, you kidding me? Where the Above All and the rest of that stuff, all those houses that were there, they're all for sale now.
Oh, they are.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
yes.
I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, they're all for sale now because the traffic and everything else like
Yeah.
that. That's the way you make a good profit there. You know that it's. You know how the traffic's going to flow because of all the money being put into the bridge and the traffic lights and everything. So you know what properties will work best for you. And on the southbound side of the road, that'd be the right side when you're going south, there's a lot more real estate there. On the other
Yeah.
side, it drops off steeply,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
so you don't have so much land there. Anyway,
Okay.
you can read all about it in the Valley Breeze. Oh, yes, one more thing. There's an insert here I think I saw. Let me just pull this out. Yes, the Northern Rhode Island Fall 2024 All Scholastic Sports Awards in the Valley Breeze. It's an insert in all the editions. So pick one up, won't you? It's absolutely free of charge, where you shop starting on Thursdays.
All right, there, Dave. Thanks. So the three of us were down in Rich's stomping grounds there at Post 85 for our celebrity bartender event on Tuesday night, and well, we all think it went very well. What does the Post think?
We had a good. Well, I'll tell you, I had fun.
good.
Yeah, no, everybody spoke very highly of it in the last couple of days, and you know, you guys did an awesome job tending bar. I did notice though, you know, we did make some good money, but I did notice the little tip jars with the names on them.
Yeah.
Somebody's was completely empty at the end of the night. I don't know what that was all about there. Dave, what were
That
you
wasn't-
doing?
that
Like,
wa- it
That's
wasn't
because I
mine.
got
you
all the
just-
$20 bills.
oh, you got all the $20 bills at yeah,
ring,
for the
to
rat.
ring, to
that
ring the bell.
That's right.
All
That's
that-
right. I
didn't
forgot
put
all
them in
about
my
that.
jar. I put them in the big milk can.
Oh, okay.
I put
then.
some
See,
stuff in the
where I
big milk
put-
can too.
If I had a $2 tip or something like that, I put it in the milk can. I didn't put it in the little plastic
there you go.
milk.
Okay, there you go.
That's
See?
why I did so well because
Yeah,
I
that's-
didn't do that.
No, no, no.
Because Joe was at the far outpost, away from the big milk can.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He'd have to go across the border into my territory in the center of the bar area in order to get to the milk can. So he just put it in his.
And I also noticed if there was money just sitting on the bar,
Yeah.
that was about 6 inches away from the patron.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tip.
That's a tip. It's gotta be a tip.
It's gotta be a tip, so I
Absolutely.
would take it.
No.
and no one
That's
ever
not
said,
how
"Hey."
it works at bars. You put your money
No,
down.
no,
at
one,
the
that's
bar.
not how
no
that
one said,
works.
"Hey," when I was taking it. So I was okay, tip.
Hey, you want to know what though? You sit back and like I said, and I said it, you know, prior to us doing this event this year, that you know all the other event, we're like the new kid on the block,
Yeah.
right? Doing this, and I was talking to Lisa. Is she doing? Yeah,
Yep.
you know, she's pretty much chief cook and bottle washer, I think.
General
Up front,
chairperson
right?
of the
General
whole thing.
chair or
Yeah.
whatever. But she was saying that even that soup for supper there down
Yeah.
down at St. Joe's, when they first started that, she said they only had about 30, 35 people attend. She says now 8 years later, she says you can't get in the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, and so, you know, while we're the new kid on the block and things are, you know, this is going to, we're going to knock it out of the park in a couple of years as this event starts to get better and better. And I love the picture and the call in the Times here. I think this
Yeah,
is
it's in
awesome.
today's
you know,
paper.
yeah,
Yep.
really, really cool. Really
On
cool
A3.
picture. Yep. And Dave, I think you froze that smile from last year's picture too.
Well, I have two smiles, and that's the one that I use more often.
There
Yeah.
you go. But yeah,
I
we
like
did-
the one that was on Facebook. Actually, I admired
Oh.
that picture. I seldom look at pictures that I'm in, but I looked at this one. I said, "Boy, does Melissa look good in this one."
There you go. Absolutely.
The one that went out on Facebook. I says, and Joe's looking pretty happy, and Dave is
Frazier.
Frazier. Okay.
Frazier. Yep.
He came out of retirement and just donated all the tips and worked like a
Yeah,
son of a
he
gun.
did.
Yeah.
I asked him
Wrangling
at one
us,
point.
right? So
I asked him at one point. I says, Dave, you probably work a lot less if you didn't have us three newbies over here trying to
yes.
trying to keep things going and asking you questions all the time. He says, no, I love this. He says, this is great.
Yeah, did you?
This is
did
what
you,
I'm here for.
Did you guys, and your answer, you're going to say yes, but you guys had fun,
Yeah,
and that's
sure.
the most
Yeah.
important
yeah.
part of it. Because hey, look, it's a good cause and everything, but sometimes when you do this for a month or so, some of the events you go tired, blah, blah, blah. To me, the whole idea of this event is that this is only 2 hours.
Yeah.
Come on in, slop some drinks around, say hi to some people.
Right. You meet some people. You
Oh,
meet
and
new
talking
people.
with the patrons, it was
Yeah.
great.
And you want to know what? To me, $260 an hour ain't bad because we made like almost $530.
That's
In
great.
2 hours.
That's
Come
good.
on,
That's
that's
really good.
pretty good money. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to do it again next year, and hopefully a lot more people come down. And we saw some new faces that we've never seen before. So, that's what it's all about: bringing some people down, letting them see the place, and just having a grand old time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but thank
yeah.
you guys for coming down, and hey. One hand washes the other. It's all about helping people out and trying to do the right thing. And by us helping the Milk Fund and getting some publicity down at the Post, it helps us do some things with the politicians, and they see that in the city. And it's a good thing that everybody just helping each other out, and that's what you want to do.
Yep.
Anything else going on at the Post that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, something I forgot to say last week that I was reminded by my commander that I better say it this week.
Or else.
Right now, down at the Post, I checked with the commander this morning. We have 4 complete turkey dinners that we need to give out.
Wow.
Okay. I went to the Post before coming here this morning. We have 4 turkeys between 16 and 20 pounds that are in our freezer there, with 4 other boxes of everything you can think of, with the potatoes and stuffing and the cranberry sauce and cans of veggies and things like that. So if you are in need of a meal out there for Christmas, a complete turkey dinner basically, we have 4 left. You can call 401-766-7585 down at the Post. And the bartender that's on duty this morning, Jill, she'll take your name and phone number. And Jill will let me know, and I will contact you. But like I said, this is first come, first serve. And, we'd like to give it to somebody that's really going through a little bit of tough time. That's what these meals are for. So basically, I guess I'm going to be very blunt in saying, if you can afford your own meal, then please don't call. But if you're having a tough time struggling,
Or if you know a family.
or if you know a
kids,
family,
yeah.
absolutely, with kids, and you're saying, I know they can use it, they just won't ask for it.
Right,
Absolutely, yeah,
Because
good,
sometimes
that's
people won't
good,
ask.
yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. 401-766-7585 if you know somebody that needs that meal. Like I said, the turkeys are, I checked them all this morning, they're between 16 and 20 pounds. Like I said, they're in the freezer, so if people want to have them for Christmas, they usually
pull
say
them
like,
out.
1 day for every 5 pounds to thaw out.
Something like that.
So come down and get everything. So like I said, call the bartender, give your name and phone number, and they'll tell me. I'll give you a call, and we'll arrange for a pickup time, either later on today or sometime tomorrow. But we'll take care of you with that. And as far as what's going on at the post, as far as hours for the veterans that want to come down there, Christmas Eve, we are open our regular time until 6 p.m. We open at 8 o'clock in the morning, so from 8 to 6 on Christmas Eve. And then, 9 to 6 on Christmas Eve. Let me rephrase there. 9 to 6 on Christmas Eve, and then 9 to 3 on Christmas Day. So,
All right.
just so people know that.
So they have a place to go.
You got a
Everyone has
place to go. Absolutely.
All right, great. Thanks there, Rich. And more Coffee Ann's coming up. This portion of Coffee Ann has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
Are you looking for solutions to meet your business banking needs? At Milford Federal, the longest-standing community bank in the area, they offer customized solutions for commercial lending, cash management, online banking, and payment processing services. Their business banking team is committed to the growth and success of your business with local decision-making and a relationship-based approach. Let Milford Federal be your banking partner. Visit them at milfordfederal.com today. Milford Federal Bank, our community, your bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, and MLS number 465956.
Make plans now before the cold weather arrives to get to Inferno Audio so they can install a remote car starter in your vehicle. Inferno Audio is the best place in Rhode Island for remote car starters. Since Keith opened his doors, he has always strongly believed you should only buy something once. That's why Inferno Audio stands behind all their installations for life. Get a remote car starter today and get it professionally installed by the experts at Inferno Audio, 160 Clinton Street on the corner of Laurel Street, Woonsocket.
You can depend on us for public service. Owen Radio.
Welcome back to Coffee Ann. This is Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Rich Lane from Post 85. And Rich had another something you wanted to mention that happened good with the American Legion Post.
Yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, so proud of this also because it's Post 85. I always come on the air and tell folks the good things we do down there. Well, this will be the 3rd year in a row that we have a member of our post to be selected as Veteran of the Year by the United Veterans Council here in Woonsocket. We had Bill Griswold. That was 2 years ago. Last year it was Joe Gennaro, who's the president of the UVC now, but he's a member of Post 85. And this year, the state commander for the American Legion, Dave Malone, was given the honor of being this year's recipient of the Veteran of the Year at the United Veterans Council, and Dave's a member of our post. So, like I said, 3 years in a row, a member of Post 85 gets this honor from the United Veterans Council. So proud of the work our post does. I don't know what else to say. It's just a great honor for us, and we're just going to keep doing the right thing down there.
Great. Well, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah, good job, Dave. I don't know if he's listening, but good job, Dave.
Congratulations.
Well, Dave is involved in a lot of things too.
Yep.
All right. This time of year, because it's Christmas time, and the police always put out there notices to be on the lookout for porch pirates.
Yeah.
Things like that. Well, this is a story out of...
They don't have to worry about it anymore. The Amazon drivers are on
They're on strike. That's right.
So porch pirates everywhere will be going down to their local Department of Labor and Training and applying for benefits. They're unemployed.
Imagine if they went on strike at Thanksgiving instead of like the couple of days before Christmas. How crazy it would have been. But anyway, down in New Jersey, it's bad enough when someone comes up and swipes stuff off your porch.
Right.
You don't have to add insult to injury. And here's these two guys down in New Jersey. There's a video from December 9th, and 2 men in hoodies go up to a house in this town in Sicklerville. One of them swipes the package, but the other turns to the Ring camera that's on the door and twerks in front of the camera. Like, ha, we got it. And then they run off.
Twerks.
Yes.
Okay.
In front of the camera, knowing where the camera is.
Yep. Everyone has a Ring camera now.
That's a little vulgar dance, by the way, for some of us who aren't initiated.
The suspects returned 2 days later when the twerker held his phone up to the camera with the Ring Neighbors app on the screen and said, "Come on, dude, not cool, bro. Come on, not cool." He then ran off quickly, returned with one of the items, which was broken. Anyone who knows the suspects is urged to contact the police down there in New Jersey. I mean, if you're going to steal, okay, just take it and run away. You don't need to be a jerk about it. You know?
Nah,
You don't need to be a jerk about it. Cause
While you're
stealing-
twerking.
Yeah.
Shaking your butt, you know? Yes,
Well,
you're
if you're stealing someone else's package, you're already a jerk.
Joe. Yeah, right. You're right.
I just don't get what's going on in the world today. I really don't. It's sad.
Yeah.
This is sad stuff. I mean, there's good people out there, so I shouldn't be a downer on Christmas.
Right.
Right. I mean, there's some
There's
real good
always
people.
been
who-
sad stuff.
That's right. There's always been bad stuff going on in the world.
No, we
Did
now
you
have
have
ring
the
cameras to prove
Mastodon
it.
story on there?
The Mastodon story?
Yeah. Did you see that,
was
the
days
other day?
ago. That was days ago. You
Was it
wouldn't
the
have them today.
Mastodon
Yeah.
jaw they had? in,
Yeah,
Oh,
New
they
York.
found it.
In
yeah,
New York.
yeah.
in upper state New York.
Then they found a few other miscellaneous bones nearby.
Yeah, that's wow. I didn't know we had.
persons?
I always thought like all these dinosaurs and stuff were over in Europe back like years and years. I didn't
think so?
realize
No,
it.
we got some in North America.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of them
A
in
lot
North
about West,
America.
just because the climate and preserved them.
That's
but-
pretty cool though when you
It's
think
awesome.
about it, huh? You start digging in your ground, and all of a sudden you find something that
Big,
was
huge
like
bone. Yeah.
billions
big
of
ju-
years
big
ago.
tooth.
Yeah, and then you got all these people running around your backyard, and you sell all the little pieces for like $100 a piece.
I don't
and
know
go
if
out and
you're-
buy a
are
new
you
truck.
allowed to do
Oh, see,
that?
I got it all figured out.
I don't know if you're allowed to
I
do
gotta go
that.
digging.
I think you bide your time and you wait for like one big bidder, so it goes into a museum and you say, you know what, if you really want this, you can, My thinking is different. It's not about the quick money; it's about the long game.
There you go.
All right. Sometimes you just it's just from the Oops department. The Spring Hill, Tennessee Police Department has to pay more than $725,000 because they seized legal hemp from 2 area businesses. Okay. They agreed to a settlement in a lawsuit that was filed by Old School Vapor and SAK Wholesale in Columbia, Tennessee. Litigation documents say law enforcement confiscated 230 pounds of the plants after being ordered to do so by the Maury County District Attorney's Office. And the lawyer who represents the plaintiffs says the settlement makes a statement about law enforcement's responsibility to understand and respect the law. Now, police officials have not admitted any wrongdoing, but they're paying back the money of what they took.
Well,
But they were just following orders. You want to
it's
just look
gotta
at it that way.
Well, who's getting sued? The city or the DA has got to be state, right?
Well, yeah.
So-
But
so
they're probably suing the DA, but they're also suing the police department, and the police department's the first to settle.
Well, yeah,
can look
I
at it
don't
that
know.
way.
There's
And-
got to be something weird there because if the DA's telling the police department to do
What
it, they
to do.
really got no choice.
Right.
You got to
That's
do what the
right.
DA tells
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
That's
Right? I mean,
True, but now the lawyer for the 2 companies saying no, they should really know what's legal and what's not legal. So therefore, they're culpable.
they're culpable.
Even though the DA told them to go,
they're
go
culpable
take it.
I
because
mean,
the
the DA
DA is a
says-
dope.
The
That's
DA
all.
says it, and they're like, okay.
Well, they should have
I mean,
gone
they're
back
gonna-
to. Well, maybe they did, but they should have gone back to the DA and say, but they're allowed. This is legal. They're allowed to have this.
Yeah.
And maybe the DA said, I don't care.
Well,
so
communication is the key.
you got to make
All right?
you got to make a judgment call, and they went in and took them. They took the plants, 230 pounds, and now they got to pay $725,000 back to these 2 companies.
My question now would be, who's got the plants?
They probably destroyed them.
Who?
Isn't that what they do? The police when they take.
Nah,
illegal
I remember
stuff?
when I was a kid that when we were running,
Oh,
we were running away with a couple of 6-packs of beer, we dropped them in the middle of the sidewalks. The cops would just grab them.
But that was 50 years ago.
Yeah, right,
throw them in the
right.
back of the truck
Yeah.
and laugh all the way home.
Things are a little different now in the law enforcement community.
Yeah, they are.
True.
Believe me.
They don't take you out back with the rubber hoses anymore. either.
God, they used to chase us all over the neighborhood. Those were the good times.
Well, you were quick back then, right?
Heck of a lot quicker than I am now. I'll tell you that much.
In case you were wondering, yes, the U.S. population is growing at the fastest rate since 2001.
Which ain't that fast, by the way.
Well, that's
folks,
according to a
'cause
new
it was
Census Bureau, yeah.
Decreasing before that.
The nation's population grew by nearly 1% and surpassed 340 million people. This is just the United States. This comes after a 2-decade slump. You're right, Dave. 2-decade slump, and is now toward more historical norms. That's in quotes. The Census Bureau attributes the rise to international migration. You mean the migrants coming?
Oh
from the south?
boy, we don't
That's
do. Let's not
exactly
let's
what
not
we
go down that road.
That's exactly what they're.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
And we're going to use the good words like international migration.
international migration. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, if you're not Dave, and you're just like us regular folk, ready, Dave?
What?
Where's
this going?
Well, the FAA,
Right.
the FAA's put out a video. It says it will help people better identify drones.
Yes.
See, Dave already knows how to identify them.
That's right.
Melissa and I are like, I don't know. I don't know about Rich.
No, I don't. I mean, if it quacks like a duck and looks like a duck, it must be a duck, right?
It's
I mean,
probably not a drone because
It's a duck,
drones
yeah.
don't make those kinds of noises.
So
They make a bzzz.
Yeah, buzzing
there you
sounds,
go. Yeah,
right?
not
The-
quack, right?
the video explains how all aircraft, including drones, are required to have certain lights. The FAA
The legal
says,
ones.
The FAA says drones are required to have a strobe light visible for at least 3 miles.
Yeah.
Several federal agencies said in a joint statement there is no national security threat at this time regarding the recent drone sightings, but did confirm some drones have been seen flying near or over military installations. And then New York City just up places where they can't fly the drones.
New York and New Jersey.
Jersey.
Well, and it wasn't
Stay away
New
from
York
here.
that did it, really. It was the FAA at the behest of the municipalities.
So
Okay.
like, I'm not really educated in these drones, so Dave may know a little, but like, if you see these like little ones flying over your own house,
Yeah.
like I've seen them like around my house, but and it isn't a UFO, it's a drone.
Yeah.
But don't laugh, Melissa. Melissa's going, there's Rich
Some
in the
people
backyard
believe.
going, "Oh." No, but I mean, like, and they hover over my backyard, and I mean, that's kind of intrusive. I don't care
Yes.
whether it's legal or not. I mean, I do. I mean, I legally have firearms, and so I can't go down and shoot that sucker down, or else I'm in trouble.
That's right.
So I mean, what's the rule here?
The rule is, according to our lawyer, Bob Lauder, if it's interfering with what you're doing in your backyard, then it's okay. But if it's just hovering, like you said, and you can't tell what it's doing, then you can't do anything about it.
Okay,
But
so
shouldn't
I'm
you have a reasonable
bar-
expectation of privacy in your own yard?
Yeah, I'm barbecuing
No,
a steak
maybe
in
not
my
in your backyard.
backyard, in my
Well-
tank top and my
your
speedos,
Speedo.
which isn't pretty, by the way. Okay, and and like I'm.
But if the
No, that's not interfering.
If
I
the drone is
understand.
85 feet up in the
Yeah.
air, then it's in the public space, and you
That's
don't have the
right.
privacy.
Okay, but it comes down about 20 feet above my property. Then I'm,
Well, if it's buzzing by your head, Rich, then it's interfering with what you're doing,
yeah,
and so therefore you can take a swipe at it. But
I may have to take one down and find out what happens.
You have, notwithstanding any municipal zoning codes for height of buildings or whatever, you have the right to whatever vertical space above your legally owned property that you can possess and occupy with any peaceful and a legal purpose. Which means if you have a 5-story house, then you're good up to 5 stories. That's it.
okay.
You can control that airspace above your land.
Okay.
If you have a 1-story house, then you got about 25 feet,
All right.
and that's about it. So I think Joe made it a little bit. It softened it up a little bit. Actually, what Bob Larder, the attorney, said yesterday was that if it is interfering with your peaceful use of your own property, then it is then trespassing, and you have something to say about it. As in any other trespasser, your first and best course of action is to call authorities and have law enforcement officers handle the situation for you. If the drone was actually, hitting you and and ripping you apart with its propellers and things like that, which is just a cartoon thing.
Yeah.
That really couldn't happen, because if it hit you, it would be in jeopardy of falling to the ground itself. But if it were doing something like that, shining a laser into your room or something like that, something that would hurt you, you call the cops. And then if you have to defend your life or your family, then you may take whatever reasonable course of action that you can defend. But you can't go above and beyond that. You can't get out the 45 Glock and say,
see you later.
Okay, hasta la vista, babies. And here, I hope you're watching on your camera, because here's a bullet for you. You can't do that.
You just
because
ruined all my fun.
the problem is with firearms is that the bullet will trespass off your controlled property. There isn't a bullet out there that isn't going to go past your property line horizontally or vertically, because it'll go up higher than your house.
Shotgun. Pellets.
Shotgun pellets. Well, you know you can get 200, 300 feet with shotgun pellets.
Straight up.
What goes up must
Sure
come
you
down.
can.
I'm just thinking.
No, I wouldn't. You know,
Rich is
I-
out.
But Dave just ruined my whole holiday. So
I'm thinking, Dave, if
Your whole holiday is ruined
if Rich
now
is
because
out
you can't.
barbecuing in his tank top and his Speedos, he's got no place for his phone. So
Right.
there you go. I promise I'll be good.
And
All
by
right.
the way, the person that said if you had a computer or some sort of radio generating information, you could generate wideband interference that would make the
try
drone
to, yeah.
uncontrollable and unresponsive to its owner. Sure, you can do that, and then answer to the FCC for emitting those signals.
But that's what-
more trouble from the
unlawfully.
That's what
feds.
New Jersey is doing, though. They're saying they're going to put their drones up there, like under federal guidelines and stuff. I guess to
try to
say they
interfere
can
with them.
interfere with like any
try to
type
drop
of
them out
trend.
of the
Yeah,
sky.
that's
Yeah.
All right, well, that'll do it for the show for today. So thank you very much for listening in. Always
A new
appreciated.
career opportunity.
Drone interference.
Drone interference.
Yes, right. Or drone.
Necessity is the mother of
What I was
invention.
thinking,
So here
I
we
was
go.
thinking
And if you
fighter-
want one taken
a
out of
drone-
the sky, call Rich.
Call us. That's
yeah,
right. There
a
you go.
drone fighter pilot.
All right, Rich Lane, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, Merry Christmas out there, everybody. And like I said, if anybody needs that meal, 401-766-0585, we'll try to get you that meal if you're in need.
Very good. Melissa, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you. And, with the Christmas time and the holidays coming, I just wanted to remind everybody, we say jolly and everybody's happy, but the holidays are hard for some people. So I just wanted to
Very
remind
depressing
folks
for some.
that 988 is a 24/7 free hotline, and it's there to help. You call 988, and if you are a veteran, you can press 1 and get special services, but it's free, it's anonymous, and you don't, have to be suicidal. If you just need someone to talk to and you don't have anyone, you can call 988.
All right, great. And Dave, thanks for being here.
Great to be with good friends on a Friday. We'll be back on Monday morning, and lots of interesting things will be going on there. We have a Milk Fund radio auction this afternoon at 4 o'clock, the second to the last one at 4 p.m., and then, of course, the last 2 auctions coming up next week. And tomorrow we have the Lions Club setting up the voluntary toll road. You have to actually leave Diamond Hill Road to go off onto private property to make a donation to the Milk Fund, and we hope that you will consider do it right next to the radio tower on Diamond Hill Road, and then be about your merry little way on that Saturday before Christmas tomorrow from 9 to 1.
Thanks, Dave. And another reminder, there is no Do You Remember with Gary Smith and the crew today.
No,
Gary's still not feeling
up
well.
to snuff, but we're hoping if he's better on Monday. He's not normally on Monday. We're going to try to squeeze in a Make Good show on Monday. So stay tuned for the tales.
Very good. Milk Fund auction at 4.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. A team from the Mystic Aquarium